Because of trauma in my past and people saying things to me and negating me or telling me I was stupid or I'm going to be a loser in life, I'm never going to make anything, I didn't get an education, all these different things, I remember those voices. A good example, which is childish for many, but this is something my little nephew, when I used to babysit for them when my brother and his wife went out for New Year's Eve, I'll never forget. I went over, Dick Clark, it was safe, watching, I had some Chinese food. My little nephew gets up, 11:30, asks for a bite. The little son of a you-know-what ate the whole pint. Now, my mind went psychotic. Didn't say anything to him because it's a child. I let my brother know, if you're coming back to your house, you better go get me some more Chinese food. I was angry for so long over something so childish, but it wasn't childish to me because dealing with a food addiction, I didn't know if that would be my last meal. I couldn't go get the food. So I got angry over something that didn't do any good for me. And many of us get angry over things that are very foolish and very stupid. How many of you have been at the store and you see an adult saying to a kid, I'm going to give you something to cry about? Well, look, if you're a little kid, 3, 4 years old, anybody that's like the Jolly Green Giant, that would scare the hell out of me. I'd still cry. We don't really realize the effect we have on other people. When we're angry at something, we take it out on the wrong people. Not like there's always the right people. We take it out on the people we love. We take it out on the people that are our friends. We take it out on a waiter or a waitress or someone who's doing service. Every job is a service. I always like when people say, I don't serve. Really? If someone else is paying you money, if you own a company, you're doing service for somebody else to make your money. It doesn't matter if you're a billionaire. It doesn't matter if you're washing dishes. It doesn't matter if you're pumping gas. You're of service. That's how we all make a living. And if you think you're better than that, unless you're born into money and you get everything you want, and the only service you get is a credit card from your parents or your grandparents or family, that's a different situation. That's a whole different type of lifestyle that you've never had a chance to really live a life because your life was lived through before you even got born. We live in a world where anger affects us on a day-to-day basis. How we choose to address it, how we choose to understand the situation in front of us, the person in front of us, that's important. Really learn to step back, build some better tools. When I'm angry now, one thing I stop and I literally get myself thinking, okay, is this something that I really am angry at? Or is it a reminder of something from the past? If it's something from the past, I'll slow down and I'll apologize. I had a huge confrontation yesterday with somebody in my work, and the person wouldn't let me continue talking. I had to give them information, and they kept saying, okay, we got to do this. And I said, look, you're really, really creating a problem here. I'm helping my client get treatment, and you're not letting me give you the information that will give my client the treatment. And so I used a couple swear words, and the person like, you're swearing at me. I said, no, I'm not swearing at you. I'm swearing at the situation. I said, you can take it however you want. We can escalate this. Well, I escalated it. And I got what I wanted. And I said to the person, I said, look, I need to apologize for my behavior. And I'm sincere. The person said to me, that's a real shitty apology. And I said, I take it back, like a 5-year-old. Well, this morning, a supervisor from that company called and apologized for the behavior of their employee because their employee was 100% wrong. And it's not like I was trying to win something, but if I'm going to fight for you, just like I tell you, if you need help, you reach out to us, we'll get you help. We'll get the best help we can get you at the time. I'm going to give you everything I have because I'm of service and I get paid for that. When we're in jobs, the one thing I've learned, and this is a behavior I've had many times in the past, if I got behind on something, I'd have every excuse under the sun. I'd use every story that I could make up. Many stories people couldn't follow through on, I'd make them up anyhow. I'd lie about I didn't have to lie. But because I got behind, I got anxiety, I got fear. If you confront it and you talk to people about something that it's going on at that moment, the relief of the fear and the anger are so good. It's a beautiful feeling. We get angry at people. Think about it. How many of you get angry at someone for something you did and they just confronted you? And they confronted you in a nice way. I, in the past, and many of us say, well, look what I did for you before. Look what I've done for you in the past. Well, the past doesn't matter. It's what's going on today and what possibly can go on tomorrow. I had a conversation with someone, and Mark, do you mind giving a little example with no names, what we talked about earlier?
In what way?
Just an example about how someone you helped build up, you did whatever you needed to do, you got them to a certain point, and then at a certain time, they almost checked out, but when you confronted them, how they responded to you.
Yeah, I think in this day and age, especially once you understand who you're speaking to and having the best intentions as well, was stern with somebody, not disrespectful, but stern to ensure that my message was coming across, and then they responded in the moment. They kind of shut down and didn't say much, but afterwards they came back with a lot of new choice words from there.
Yeah. See, we've all done that because basically the reality is we got caught. If you're willing to take the chance to get caught, think about it. You're doing a disservice to yourself. And this is one thing I've learned. It's about self-respect now. I'm in situations with people. I was supposed to go out with someone on a date a while back, about 2 weeks ago. And the person didn't call, didn't do anything. And I sent a text saying, look, it was wonderful. I hope everything's okay. I said, but look, you know what? This just doesn't work for me. If you can't communicate. 2 seconds later, I get a phone call. We had a long conversation. I understood. And I said, but here's what you have to understand. That's a you problem. If you don't communicate it with me, I'm only going to think the way I'm thinking. And if you can't give me the respect I give you, I said, look, this isn't about you respecting me. It's about you having respect for yourself. I've learned that I need to have respect for myself, even if whatever I'm talking to you about puts me in a situation that's uncomfortable or something I didn't do. But an example like that, many times people, when you reprimand them, will agree with you. And then they're going to get angry. Then they're going to get vindictive. What does that do for us?